Hey, what's up everybody? It's Squeegee back with another video. Now today I wanted to pick up a series by the Red Engineer called the Minigame Factory, where he recreated Hypixel minigames with command block. Me being pretty good at command blocks, wanted to continue this series. Now I know it's a bit different from my channel, but hopefully you guys like this because my most popular videos do involve command blocks. In today's episode, we are going to be recreating the game Fire Leapers within party games. I will now jump into party games to demonstrate the actual game for you. So now that we're here in Fire Leapers, I can break down the fundamental parts of the game. Basically, you have jump boost and there is a set of particles coming at you and you have to jump over them. It seems pretty simple, but as you're gonna find out sooner or later, it isn't. But yeah, so you can watch me absolutely own everyone at this game. And I'm actually gonna die here just so I can get a better angle. This was totally on purpose. So I'm here in the testing world and I'm just gonna show you the version that I made. You'll see there's a score counter on the side and the particles, they spawn a little bit higher than in the Hypixel game, but this is just how I wanted to configure it. Of course, you could change it when I get to how it is done. You'll notice that you can jump over it and the particles come at you and they spawn, and if you die it sets you into spectator, and the reason it sets you into spectator is if there were other players you'd go into spectator. Now I'm going to pull up the internal clock so you can just take a guess at how it was done with these clocks. It's a little confusing, but it works out in the end. But yeah, this game actually does work with multiple people. It's just me in my single player world. That's why it sets me to spectator, then creative. Alright, so let's get into how I made this. So first of all, this is the start command. It just teleports you to the starting block, sets you in adventure mode, and gives you jump boost, as well as adding a tag that is playing, and this is just to help with the scoreboard. So the next is a clock. Basically, I'm just using this for timing and summoning the armor stands. It's running a scoreboard to add one score to the clock every tick, and every tick it is added until it gets to 60, and then in the next command block, when it hits 61, it's going to reset it to 0. 60 is 3 sets of 20, and every 20 ticks is 1 real second, so the clock runs for about 3 real seconds, and that goes into the next command block. Every time it hits about 51, we're going to summon an armor stand. So that translates to every 3 seconds, an armor stand is going to be summoned. Now you're probably wondering, why an armor stand? Well, I just like armor stands, to be honest with you, but that is what I'm using for the actual particles. It's armor stands that are being teleported towards the player with a particle effect. Now, unfortunately, Minecraft does this really weird thing with teleportation of multiple entities that are the same, and you have to have an individual name for each one. So that's why I have it tagged as game, just to separate them from other armor stands in the world, and then a number. They're named after a number. So yeah, you'll see that they're named 1, then 2, then 3, and basically it just keeps going up to 11, which is how wide the playing field is. Of course, years may be wider or even shorter. So next, this is basically what teleports the armor stand. We have this thing called gameTimer, and it's basically just a 1-2 state clock that runs every tick, and it goes up to 2 and then it resets. Basically, it's just so my armor stands don't teleport too fast, but they teleport fast enough. Once it hits 2, it resets to 0, just like the other clock. And since it's constantly resetting at 2, every time for me it hits 1, it's going to teleport the armor stands 0.3 blocks towards my playing field, towards my direction. And then they'll slowly teleport towards me, and that's how I jump over it. And of course, you're going to need particles, so I just play the particle about where the armor stand's head is, which is 1.5 blocks above it. Now, unfortunately, you have to have the same thing for each of the armor stands. So I have to have name 1, name 2, name 3 for each of the numbered armor stands. Ignore that sign, that's what I used to call it. This is basically just a scoreboard, so every time my timer hits 51, it just adds 1 to the scoreboard on the side over there, just to have it tick up every time an armor stand spawns. And lastly, we need a set of commands for when the game ends. So basically when you get hit by the armor stand. So the first command in our chain is it's going to detect when there's an armor stand within the distance of 1, and it's going to add the tag dead. I had a little fun with that. So when you're close, it adds that tag. And now it's going to summon, or say, you've been eliminated. Now I added a little, if you click it, it adds to a certain YouTube video. You guys can type that in, maybe, I don't care. And it's going to set you into spectator if you're dead. Now keep in mind this is meant for multiple people, but just for simplicity's sake, I made it when you're in spectator. It's going to teleport you to the spawn. It's going to clear your effects, make sure it gets rid of that jump boost. It's going to kill all the armor stands when there's only one player left. It's going to remove the tag playing just so the clock doesn't tick up. It's going to set you into creative. It's going to reset your game timer so it doesn't try to keep going. It's going to reset the overall clock, and it's going to remove final tag. And that's pretty much it. Now let's say you want the armor stands to get faster as you go on. I'm going to just show you how to do that really quick, but if not, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Alright, if you're still here, that means you want to learn how to make the armor stands speed up after a certain amount of time or after a certain amount of rounds. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to go to the teleport command from earlier, and then unfortunately you're going to have to add a lot, and you're going to actually have to add this to pretty much everyone. So you're going to say execute if score, and then you're going to type score again because that's keeping track of how many times the armor stand is spawned. And you're going to say I'm not going to say less than, sorry. You're going to say matches, and then you're going to say point, and then whatever score you want it to speed up. Point basically means less than. So instead of 2, I'm going to do 15. So about 15 rounds, it's going to run that. And then you just copy and paste that for all your teleport commands. So basically it means when it's less than round 15, teleport at this speed. And then essentially you're going to want to copy all the teleport commands again and change it from, well, the first one needs to be repeat, that's pretty important. And then instead of it being less than 15, you want it to be greater than 15. So you do 15 and then ... So now when it's greater than 15, it'll teleport, and you're going to have a chain of all the teleport commands after that. And just to show you again, you want to put it like that, and make sure you change this number to be faster. So I'm going to do 0.5. And that'll make your armor stands teleport faster. I'm aiming to make this a new series on my channel, so if you enjoyed it, let me know. Leave suggestions for other games for me to make. They don't have to be Hypixel exclusive, of course. That's pretty much it. There should be the commands as well as a possible world download in the description. As always, if you liked it, please leave a like. This took me way longer than I'd like to admit. And as always, if it's your birthday, happy birthday, and see you all again sometime.